Welcome back to the Born Blondes podcast. I'm Randa.
And I'm Aubrey.
What to do,
motherfuckers?
I do not sound like that.
It was rough.
Anyway, I'm Aubrey.
And I'm Randa.
Welcome back.
Happy Monday. We are so happy that you are here with us. Seeing our pretty little faces. Or listening to our seductive little voices.
Oh my.
I'm kidding.
There's a fly that's been bothering the shit out of me.
Yeah.
We're going to work with it.
Yep. So if you see it flying around the video, just ignore it.
Just ignore it.
Today,
we're going to do Am I the Asshole to kick off our
holiday season. Every time now you say welcome back to the Born Blondes podcast, I always want to be like, it's spooky season. Just because we did it for so long.
Right?
And it was so much fun.
It was.
So
I'm
this
excited
is our
for next year.
Holiday editions.
You'll have to go, it's holiday season.
Holiday season. That's Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes.
We have some cool episodes coming up for you for this holiday season. So stay tuned. But
Ricky,
today, sorry.
Go ahead. Ricky, what?
You're like,
go ahead and then I'll continue
talking. I was just going to say today we have Am I the Asshole? Which apparently is Aubrey.
I was going to say, Ricky went ahead and pulled these again. I'll be reading Thanksgiving stories.
And I will be reading Christmas. Oh my God. Also, I'd like to point out what Aubrey mentioned before we started, or when we hit record versus when we actually start the podcast.
Right.
There's always that little brief, 4 or 5 minutes of us just talking,
chit-chatting.
Working up the, and welcome to the Born Blondes. So Aubrey was like, we do a lot of Reddit episodes for two people who don't use Reddit.
It's true.
So all of the lingo that they use on Reddit.
Ricky also doesn't use Reddit. He's just very helpful and supportive and does all the work that I'm supposed to do. Not all of it.
I mean, for those of you who always, within your friend group, are like, oh, we are so funny, we should start a podcast. It's not as easy as you think.
No, it's not.
It's not just hit record and do the things, which, I mean, I guess it kind of is, but there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes. And maybe one day we could do a behind the scenes of what we do behind the scenes.
Sceneception.
Yes. All right, let's start off with a Thanksgiving Am I the Asshole?
So we're going to start off with this story from Doge Commander Rex.
Doge Commander Rex. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it starts off with, am I the asshole for refusing to host Thanksgiving after being stuck with it for the past 5 years?
Ooh.
I'm going to automatically say no.
I'm going to say no, you're not the asshole.
But let's get into it and then reevaluate.
Maybe see if we change our minds.
I, 38 male, have been hosting Thanksgiving for my family every year since I bought my house 5 years ago. This includes my parents, siblings, their spouses, kids, and occasionally extended family.
Dang.
In total, it's about 20 people. I don't mind cooking, but the problem is no one ever helps.
Ooh.
I do all the grocery shopping, meal prep, cooking, and the massive cleanup afterwards.
And that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. You had, 6 people over for... No, you didn't even have 6 people. You had 4 people over, plus you and Mitch, for a movie night, and that was a lot. I can't imagine 20 people.
Literally.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Last year, I asked for help, but everyone either ignored me or gave me some lame excuse like, I'm not good in the kitchen, or I don't know how to cook. Meanwhile, they're sitting around while I'm running around the kitchen all day. After the meal, same thing. They sit around chatting and drinking while I'm the only one cleaning up. Yeah, you're not the asshole.
You are definitely not the asshole.
So this year, I said enough is enough. I told them I'm not hosting Thanksgiving. I suggested someone else step up or we could split the cost of catering.
100%.
Cue the drama. My siblings flipped out, complaining about how it's tradition for me to host. My mom called me selfish, and my aunt said I was ruining Thanksgiving for the kids because they love coming to my house. Now they're all upset with me, calling me lazy and saying I'm ruining the holiday.
Lazy? This motherfucker's running around the goddamn kitchen cooking your lazy ass food. Who's
No
lazy?
shit.
Sorry, that just hit a nerve.
Honestly, I'm tired of being treated like a personal chef and cleanup crew every year.
Yeah.
But now I'm feeling guilty for putting my foot down. So am I the asshole for refusing to host Thanksgiving this year? This one does come with an edit and says, thank you to everyone for your thoughts and opinions. I didn't expect so many responses, and I really appreciate the support and perspectives shared. It's been reassuring to know that reassuring to know I wasn't being unreasonable in this situation. Thanks
No.
again.
You
100% not the asshole.
Doge Commander Rex. That's your name. You are not the asshole. You are not the father.
You are not the father. I don't think that's fair. If you know, like in my family, if somebody is hosting Thanksgiving, like me and my sister literally just sat down to talk about this the other day because I told her like, hey, we have Ricky's family for like dinner time. So if we want to do something in the afternoon, like let's figure it out. Just give me a time. And I straight up looked at her. I said, let me know what I'm bringing.
Right.
Like I'm gonna bring a dish, and then while I'm there, I'm gonna help clean up. Like that's just
help clean up, help serve, or whatever you have to do. I feel like
I get there, like most of the time I'll get there and hey, what needs to be done?
Right.
But like our whole family is the same way. Like we, especially for Christmas, it's always like rotates who's hosting.
Yeah, that's what
but
we do
it's
too.
Whoever gets there, it's okay, well, what needs to be done?
Right.
What are you working on? What can I help with? And
right.
it's as after cleanup, what can I help clean up? What do you need me to do? And most of the time, whoever's hosting is, don't worry about it. But we're all helping regardless.
I feel like the offer alone to help do anything is better than just sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I feel like, one, this person is not selfish for no longer wanting to do it because you are literally giving so much for a time that people need to be thankful, and they are clearly not thankful.
Right.
Like, they don't give a shit.
At the same time, like, you guys are all socializing, but, like, what about him?
Right. He's like slaving his life away.
Like, when does he get to catch up with the family?
Right. He's like the outcast. He's like the black sheep who's just kind of, he is loaning his house. He's doing the grocery shopping. He's doing the cooking. He's doing the cleaning. He's doing all of these things, and you guys are just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah. No, not the asshole.
You are not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Every time I say that, I want to think, is that one long? That one's long. We'll do this one. Yeah, every time I say you're not the asshole, I always think, you're not the father.
Not the mama. That's for
that
you.
Too.
That's for you, Ashley.
You're welcome. This one is Reddit throwaway 19744.
Hello, throwaway.
Okay. Am I the asshole? Christmas edition. Am I the asshole for thinking it's not okay for my ex to do Santa even when it's my year?
What?
I'm assuming these two were once married. I have children.
Hold on. Asshole or not asshole?
Ooh. Am I the asshole for thinking it's not okay for my ex to do... I'm going to guess not the asshole because it says it's her year. I'm assuming this is a her. This is their year to do Santa.
Ooh.
If you're alternating, then I feel like...
This one's going to be difficult for me.
Is.
But...
Yeah, this is a little too close to home.
I'm going to say asshole.
Okay.
I don't want to come off the wrong way because I just had this conversation with Hope. But, like, I'm going to immediately say asshole because if it's something that the kids want to do with the other parent...
That's true.
I don't feel like it should be, no, you can't because it's not their it's not their time.
Right.
Because, like...
I would have to agree.
Hope straight up asked me, like, can I spend Christmas with you guys next year? And it's like, no, sorry. And she's like, well, why? I was like, it's your mom's holiday. Like,
That's true. Okay.
So, like, if it's specifically the kid being like, well, I want to go do this with
Right.
mom, or I want to go do this with dad, you are the asshole if you're keeping them from doing that. Like, I understand that it's court ordered, but I also feel like
I
you
get
guys
it.
should get along enough to
Accommodate.
do what you want, like do what the kid wants.
Because the kid comes first in that aspect. It's not
What you want.
Yeah, it's not he or she or whatever. It's not like,
Or how can we accommodate to do both?
yeah.
So
I think
I'm going to
you
go
just
with
kinda
asshole, but
changed
let's
my,
get into it.
idea there. All right. I have children ages 16, 14, 12, and 9. The 9-year-old still believes in Santa. Disclaimer, if you have any kids, you might want to stop listening at this port.
We probably should have said it earlier, but
We'll leave it in the description. Okay. My ex-wife and I have been divorced for 5 years. We share time on Christmas no matter whose day it is, and we alternate every other year who has them for the Christmas Santa wake up.
okay.
Except Santa Claus comes to my ex's house whether it's her year or mine.
Okay.
Am I the asshole here for not wanting her to do Santa when it's my year? Her excuse, what she told my 9-year-old, is that Santa knows they live at her house too. So not only are we now competing on Santas, but she's putting me in a position of doing Santa at my house on her year if the logic presented to my 9-year-old is to be preserved. I guess I could be the asshole for denying my kids 2 rounds of Santa every year, except I don't think there should be dueling Santas. The lifestyles, shall we say, are by no means equivalent between the 2 houses. That's tough. That's hard. That's difficult. I'm in a dilemma. That's hard.
That one's hard for me.
I want to
but,
say
like,
yes and no.
This is so difficult because
That's really hard.
we don't want to straight up, like, just in my situation, Hope still believes in Santa.
Right.
And we are not going to be like, oh, he's not real.
Right. Anytime soon.
But we don't play Santa, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like, oh, look what Santa brought you.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of that's because we make sure that she understands, like, me and dad put in a lot of overtime.
You work hard for her presents.
And we worked hard to
Yeah.
provide this Christmas for
Right.
you. So if her mom wants to play into that, we just let her.
Right.
But it's not something that we do. But it also comes from, well, you go back to school and Santa brought me this Nintendo Switch.
Right.
Oh, well, Santa brought me a sweatshirt.
Right.
So it's, well, why does your Santa bring you a Nintendo Switch when my Santa only brought me a sweatshirt? Like, am I a bad kid?
Right.
Because,
No, and that's where it's difficult.
and that's why, like, I've always, not always, but, like, I agree with the people that are like, you should say mom and dad are the ones
Who
that
bought you the bigger
bought the big presents.
electronics,
Yeah.
or the bigger, like, I wasn't gonna say Barbie house, but like if it's like humongous,
If it's going to be Santa, let it be the stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
The candy, the small trinkets.
when every time Ella has asked anything from Santa, at one year she wanted to ask him for a watch, and I said no, like Santa doesn't do
Big stuff.
the big stuff. So when Ella got her Nintendo Switch, it was from mom and
Right.
dad. When Ella gets anything else, mom and dad. But when it's Santa stuff, it's like an LOL doll, like a little
Right.
ball,
And that's what I'm saying, like the small trinkets.
Yeah.
And like,
like something you could fit in a stocking is something
Right.
that comes from Santa.
but I also, like in this situation, I think it's okay for there to be 2 Santas. You're only going to have a few more years. Your
her
kid
believing.
is 9.
Yeah.
Like, you're only going to have a few more years of them actually believing that Santa's here.
That's the same age
Just
as Ella, and she's already
enjoy
pretty
it.
skeptical.
That's why I said,
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let there be 2 Santas.
Let there be light.
Let there be 2 Santas. Let there be light. Who's to say that Santa can't stop at both houses?
I mean, Santa stops at all of the other kids' houses.
I
so
don't want
why-
to say you're an asshole. Like, I can see where the frustration's coming from, but
Right.
I also feel like,
If this is gonna like put your kid into a bad mood or like feel some type of way for Christmas,
Right.
wouldn't you want them to be happy?
Right.
Like if they might feel special to get 2 gifts from Santa.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
It's just
I feel like I'm on the fence for that
I
one.
feel like it should be one of those things that Santa can visit both houses, but like if your lifestyles are that different, I think that's a conversation that
Between
you need
the
to
two
have with your
parents.
ex, being like, "Hey, these gifts need to be from Santa and these gifts need to be from you."
Right. Like if you're going to do Santa and I'm going to do Santa, let's have our gifts similar.
Right.
Aspects of, oh, when I'm at mom's house, I get a Switch, or when I'm at
Right.
dad's house, I got a doll. Like,
Right.
pretty much how we were saying earlier.
I
Like,
think
that
they
makes
should be
the most
similar.
sense. So that one, you are neither an asshole nor an asshole.
Nor not an asshole.
Nor not.
Nor not.
You are just a frustrated parent. All right, what we got for Thanksgiving?
Oh, let's find a little bit of a shorter one. Okay, let's do this one. So, from Last Departure 6914.
These names are something else, you guys.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to spend Thanksgiving with my in-laws?
I'm going to guess not the asshole.
I'm going to say not the asshole.
And then we'll reassess.
I can't agree because, like, I love my in-laws. Mm-hmm. But I can also understand.
We're not personalizing this. We're just saying, are they an asshole?
I'm going to
or
go
not?
ahead and say not the asshole.
You are not.
Let's
the dad.
assess.
Let's assess.
So it says, my husband is a first-generation Mexican man.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay. His parents celebrate Thanksgiving, but don't do it with traditional American Thanksgiving food. They typically make tamales or pozole.
Pozole?
Pozole? I don't know.
Pozzoli?
Pozzoli. That sounds more Italian than Spanish.
That does sound more. Okay, I apologize.
My parents passed away a few months before we got married, and Thanksgiving was a big deal in our family. Having a traditional Thanksgiving dinner is important to me, so for the past couple of years, I've made traditional Thanksgiving food at home for my husband, myself, and my kids, and we would go visit his family later in the evening for a couple of hours.
Fair.
We invited his parents over for the traditional food in the past, and they didn't like it. This year, my husband decided to invite them again, and his mom mentioned that she would be bringing tamales. The week leading up to Thanksgiving, my husband and I had been bickering with each other a lot, and on Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, the house was a mess, and I was going to have a lot of work to do to prepare for the family to come over for the next day on top of cooking. His parents also invited 2 additional extended families over for the holidays. I'm going to stop right there.
Rude.
That's never okay.
No.
Without previous consent.
Conversations, yes.
Thanksgiving is always a super hard holiday for me emotionally, and I became overcome with grief about not having my family here for the holidays when my husband started arguing with me about how messy the house was when we were expecting company the next day. Mind you, I worked all week and
Then tell the husband to clean.
And I'm 20 weeks pregnant. Ooh. So I don't have a lot of extra energy for much. I decided that I wasn't going to cook Thanksgiving dinner the next night and that I would like to travel to visit my extended family for the holidays, as I felt a strong need to be with people who I felt like understood my pain and grief.
Amen, sister.
My husband called his mom to let her know we were no longer hosting Thanksgiving at our house because I'm struggling with grief and I want to be with my family. His mom ended up making the tamales, and her extended family spent the holidays with her at her own house.
Good for her.
Now his parents are guilt-tripping us about my decision to spend the holidays with my family rather than them. I have spent every single holiday for the 7 years we've been married with my husband's family. Am I the asshole? P.S. His parents only speak Spanish, and my husband isn't a big fan of translating, so most of the time I'm left out of conversations.
No, you were not the asshole.
No, you're not the asshole.
No.
Especially because just because your parents passed away doesn't mean you don't have family.
Right.
And I think it's important for you to spend time
With
your family
as well. Yeah. 100%.
And especially with it being such an emotional time. Like, it's an emotional time because this was always a big holiday for your parents.
Yep.
It's an emotional time because you're bringing a life into this world.
Right.
And
You're
your
20
parents
weeks
aren't here
pregnant.
to celebrate.
Right.
Like, you're emotional because you're pregnant and hello, hormones. Like, no, I don't think you're
I'm
an
not
asshole
even pregnant.
at all.
I got fucking hormones to high heaven.
Facts.
No, I don't
Facts.
think she is the asshole because the thing in there that rubbed me the wrong motherfucking way was my husband's mad because the house is dirty.
Then clean it.
Like, clean it, motherfucker. Why is it always on the
It's
women?
your family coming over. Why don't you clean it?
Like, the fucking gendered roles irritate the fuck out of me. Like, you're capable of cleaning.
You live
clean
here
it.
too.
I will clean, you will clean, and we will be happy. Like, why is it strictly on her? She's 20 weeks pregnant, dude. Pick up a fucking sponge and clean something.
Yes.
It's not the end of the... It's not going to kill you. And as far as the in-laws with the tamales, bring fucking tamales. You don't want to eat the turkey she made, then don't fucking eat it.
Right.
Like, I feel like there's compromise that could
Absolutely.
be made here to, like, make it a little bit easier. But I understand where she's coming from with, like, their frustrations. One, she's pregnant. She doesn't have family. She wants to
Right.
do something with her side of the family or her extended family.
But also, like, why can't you invite your family and his family?
That's true. We could do a whole
Like-
little big gathering and his family bring the traditional Mexican foods that
Yeah.
they like. And then,
You and your family
Yeah.
can bring the traditional Thanksgiving.
yeah, I feel like a lot of the times there's so many ways around this, but also I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to compromise.
Absolutely.
They're not willing to let go of what they want to do to make other people happy. Like, it's not just
And
about
that's-
you, it's about everyone.
That goes back to, like, we just had this conversation. Hey, I want to be, like, I want to spend Thanksgiving with my family too, but that's every year for the past, couldn't tell you how many years, Ricky and his family always have Thanksgiving dinner at grandma's house. Okay, so our family, hey, can we get together for lunch? Yup, great.
Right.
Like, and there's a good chance that Ashley's in-laws are going to be there. Okay. It's not the first time we've had, you know,
Super extended.
like
Yeah.
it's not the first time that we've had both of their sides
Right.
there. Like, we did a huge Easter dinner with them, what, 2-3 years ago?
Right.
I think it was actually the year they were still engaged. I think it was before they were married.
The more the merrier.
But, like, exactly.
For us, we always do Thanksgiving brunch because Mitchell's mom and dad always knew that the kids had families
Right.
and stuff, or like the daughter-in-laws would have their family tradition. So they always
Right.
did brunch, and then we did dinner wherever the hell we wanted.
Right.
Like with my parents or...
And I think that's a
you know what
great
I mean?
idea.
Like, yeah, I feel like...
Compromise.
And that was one of the compromises is, hey, we'll do Thanksgiving brunch and then you guys don't have to worry about where you're going to be for dinner.
Absolutely.
Like, you just, do your thing.
And we're doing the same thing for Christmas. We already are trying to figure out our Christmas schedule because Christmas Eve is probably going to be the best time for my family to get together. Well, Christmas Eve dinner is, again, at Ricky's grandma's. So, hey, we could do the afternoon, but we're not going to be able to do Christmas Day.
Right.
So, and my sister even said, we might not celebrate on Christmas, but we'll still celebrate Christmas. So, I mean, it could be 2 days before Christmas. It could be after Christmas. Regardless, we're going to get together.
Right. These next ones are
Long?
kind of long. Should I do, am I the asshole for not going to my mom's for Christmas? Am I the asshole Christmas with my boyfriend? Am I the asshole for calling my wife unreasonable for backing out of spending Christmas with my family after my mother rejected her cookie recipe? We're doing that one.
Okay.
I need the drama. Give it to me.
All right.
This is from user 119975444.
Oh, okay. Good name. Good name.
I will repeat. Am I the asshole for calling my wife unreasonable for backing out of spending Christmas with my family after my mother rejected her cookie sample? You the asshole. She didn't want to eat a cookie. Why are you mad?
Unreasonable for rejecting a...
Okay,
Your
unreasonable.
wife might have been unreasonable, but I don't think it was okay for...
For backing
Well-
out of doing Christmas with his family.
Right, but she's the one that backed out. Okay. I want to say not the asshole, but let's get into it.
Context. For every holiday, my mother would ask the women in the family, my sisters, sister-in-law, my wife, my female cousins, to send samples of the desserts they planned to bring to the celebration for testing to see if these desserts could make it to the food menu. That's a little excessive. That's a little fucking excessive.
I
You
don't...
need fucking Gordon Ramsay to taste the food to to finalize.
Why don't
if
you
they
all
can
bring
it.
something different?
Yeah, why would you need one,
whatever.
2, 3, 4 different desserts? Anyway, my wife has been complaining about my mother deliberately rejecting every dessert sample she sent. So many times my mother has told her that she's being honest and keeping the guest's best interest at heart.
Okay. By refusing 4 desserts? I would love 4 desserts.
No, she's only refusing his wife's desserts. Because she's basically saying his wife's desserts are trash. Year after year after year.
Okay.
Because she's keeping the guest's best interest at heart.
Okay, well, my best interest would be all 4 desserts. Whether it's trash or not.
Right. Let me be the judge.
Right.
Let the guests be the judge.
Right.
Yet my wife still thought that my mother is deliberately excluding her since 2 of her dessert samples, not year after year, 2 of her dessert samples were rejected before. For this year's Christmas, my mother is doing the same thing, but this time she told every woman who are participating to make a cookie sample and send it to her for testing. Your mom is a bit fucking dramatic, sir.
Yeah.
What is she, a fucking sous chef?
Sous chef?
What is she,
A
a
sous
sous
chef?
chef? Like she's got fucking top fucking Gordon Ramsay knowledge that she needs. All right.
And
This is irritating me.
if she is, maybe she should be the one fucking making it.
Right. Or she can maybe give your wife some like
Pointers
of like, hey, maybe don't add as much salt, or maybe don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, whatever. My wife took it as a challenge, and to be honest, she worked really hard to make a good sample and sent it to my mother days ago, and the results just came in yesterday. The results! It's a fucking cookie! It's a cookie! Oh my god! I came home from work and found my wife upset. Rightfully so. Your mother's a douchebag.
I don't remember holidays being a sign up for a fucking cooking show.
Literally,
A competition.
Just let everyone bring a fucking dish. If nobody eats the cookies, nobody eats the fucking cookies. All right, I'm getting annoyed. I asked what's wrong, and she told me that my mother rejected the sample she sent in and decided to exclude her from baking from the food list / menu for Christmas this year. I didn't know what to say, but then she told me she was backing out of the invitation to attend Christmas. I would do the same thing.
Same.
I was stunned when I heard her make this statement. I tried to talk with her, but she said it was done. I called her unreasonable to decide to bail on the whole family over some cookie sample. Then talk to your mother, homie.
Yeah.
That's just freaking crazy and quite unreasonable. So then your mother is also being unreasonable because she made this whole cookie challenge baking show. We had a full-on argument about it, and she stated that my mother caused this, but I told her that my mother is pretty serious and careful about the food she offers to the guests since we are going to have relatives coming from all sides of the country. She told me to stop mentioning it.
And who gives a fuck where they're coming from?
His mom is giving me really, like, what's
entitled?
That. But there's a different word, and I can't think of it. I'll have to think of it later. Later, I heard her cry despite telling her that her baking is amazing and people have preferences, that's all. Okay, then.
So why don't you let the guest choose their preference?
Literally. Am I the asshole for insisting that her decision was unreasonable?
Yes.
Info. If you're asking whose cookie sample made it to the menu, the answer is my sister and my 2 cousins. And then there's a few more.
So, hold on. We were told that there were 4 people?
Yes, it is his sisters, plural, sister-in-law, his wife, and then his female cousins, which could be multiple.
Okay.
So, his sister and 2 of his female cousins made the cut.
Okay.
Info, a few more things to put on here. Number 1, my wife wasn't the only one whose sample was rejected. We have sister-in-laws and my younger sisters. 2, my wife did not force anyone, or my mother did not force anyone to participate. It was up to whoever wanted to take part. 3, this is just about the dessert since my mother tends to be very careful in this category, but for other types of foods. Dishes, appetizers, salads, stuff like that is welcome, as she stated. Update. Great. So I just got off the phone with my brother, and he told me that his wife is doing the same thing as my wife, and that she has decided to back out of the invitation to spend Christmas with family as well. Turns out my wife must have told her about her decision, and she decided to follow her lead. You go, Glenn
Good.
Coco. My brother is pissed, saying my wife is encouraging his wife to do this. I see that the problem has just gotten bigger now. Who knows? My younger sister might join in and decide not to go as well.
Good.
I don't know how this got out of control so quickly. I guess we'll have to try to have a discussion with my mother about this soon. Your mother is the problem. It's not your wife. It's not the sister-in-law. It's not your sister. Your mother is the problem.
You said you didn't know how this got so out of control.
It's your mother.
Your mother.
Your mother, my guy.
Oh.
No, your wife is not the asshole for this. That is fucking insane. What I just read is literally fucking insane. Yes, it's all over a cookie, but it's the fact that your mom is so particular.
Dictatorship.
And yeah, has to have everything clean cut because all of your relatives are coming out of country. Maybe they want a fucking
variety.
Thank you. They want a variety of cookies, not just chocolate fucking chip. Dude, that pissed me off. That is insane. People are actually like that?
Okay, but like, say there's, 30 people? Just for shits and giggles. So have how many people? Bring a dozen cookies. There's plenty to go around.
Yeah, even if it is all just chocolate chip. You don't need
It doesn't matter. Like,
dude, yo mama is a psycho.
what the fuck?
What's user 1199754444? Your mother is crazy. You need to abort mission. You need to, first of all, why is the husband not having the wife's back? That's what I want to know.
That part.
That's what I want to know.
Should we, if you want more of Am I the Asshole stories,
we
let
might
us
have
know.
to do another one of these.
We have more, but we are out of time. So if you want more, let us know, and we'll see if we can sit down and do like a bonus episode.
Right. You'll have to comment down below if you believe with us, if you believe with us.
If you agree with us.
Thank you.
you
I'm very worked up right now. That
believe.
fucking cookie,
That pissed me off.
that pissed me
It's not a competition.
off. Ooh, I would back out too. I'd be like, see ya. Find your own fucking cookie recipes to make, bitch. Because you're clearly fucking Gordon goddamn or you're fucking Martha Stewart. Betty fucking Crocker. Cook your own goddamn cookies. Ooh, I'm heated.
That part. If you were that insistent about what the dessert tastes like, do it yourself.
If you're that particular and you need specific cookies,
do it yourself.
make it your fucking self, bitch.
Oh.
If you can't have my I bet a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into those motherfucker cookies.
Probably.
And they were good. I bet they were good.
I bet they were great.
I bet they were fabulous, and you just can't handle it. Ooh, I think all of the his wife, his sisters, and all of his sister-in-laws need
Should
to
get together and do their own cookies.
and do their own cookies and have their own little Thanksgiving or Christmas, whatever,
Without the rest of the family.
without the fucking Grinch there,
Idiot.
fucking Wicked Witch of the West.
Something. Hey.
Dude, that really irritated me. I would.
I was hoping we were going to end on something better, but here we are.
I like how that went. I would throw hands.
I would too.
Over some motherfucker. Yeah, it's over a cookie, but guess what, bitch? It's the
deserved it.
underlining issue. Anyway, I think I need to go have I'm gonna go eat a cookie.
There we go.
I don't have any cookies to eat.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. So maybe, what was I going to say? I told you in the last episode, these outros fuck with my head.
Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share. All the social medias on all the things on all the social medias.
Yeah. We got to get better at these outros, you know?
Yeah.
You know, at one point, they're probably like, yeah, we know what the fuck we have to do. Quit, stop talking. But I feel like I have to remind you because a lot of you watch us but don't subscribe.
Just love us? Okay? We'll see you next week.
We love you. Have a great week. See you next Monday. Bye.